going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Cantina Jargon. Joined by Caden, Cantina Talk, as always. We're doing another show, and we're chatting about Star Wars. Not a whole lot of news this week, but we got some things, at least.
Yeah, we got listening.
And we got Acolyte coming in, 2 weeks now? Maybe 3?
Yeah, I think last time I saw it was like 15 days last time I counted.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah. So we're getting really close, which is good because we need another Star Wars show badly, another live action one, especially.
Yeah, and it's gonna be. My expectations are definitely like lowered, but I'm still very excited for it.
Yeah, I can't say I'm like the most hype about it, but maybe that's a good thing because like based on what's happened in the past, I don't want to get too excited. I would rather like see how it goes, and you know, if I like it, then great. If it surprises me, even better. Like, you know, I think that's what we want, kind of. I want it to surprise me. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I hope it's good, but at the same time, like, if it's not, I'm not going to be like mad about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you're going in just open minded, like you're not like expecting anything, and I mean, I guess there really is nothing to expect since we're not like we haven't seen anything from this time period, so like there's nothing for us to expect yet.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like how I feel. I mean, we don't know any of the characters. I haven't read the High Republic stuff. Have you read any of it or the comics or anything?
I've read like glimpses here and there, and I've read some comics here and there. It's just some of those stories didn't really like catch me, and I like wasn't like too interested in them.
Yeah.
I just didn't find anything that I like fell in love with yet.
Yeah. I think that's fair enough because I had tried like the first one they came out with, and I was like, this just isn't for me. You know, and I like a lot of Legends stuff, but I haven't really liked a lot of the canon books at all, besides like the Thrawn stuff.
I like the Thrawn stuff, and some of the Vader comics, like the Dark Horse comics, have been really good.
Yeah, the first Vader run, that was way back in the day now. How long was that?
I think like 2015.
Yeah. That was cool.
Some of the Dr. Aphra stuff too is pretty cool.
I like Aphra. You know, Aphra's one of those characters I would totally be okay with seeing in live action.
I'm a little surprised that we haven't yet, if anything. Like I'm a little like I'm not even like a mention at the least is where I'm kind of like surprised.
Yeah, no, we got Chrysanthemum, we got Vanth. You know, I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten Aphra, especially in like Mando timeline.
Exactly. That's kind of where I'm just like where is she at this point? Why hasn't she been brought up?
Maybe she's dead.
Maybe we'll see her in Outlaws. I don't know.
Yeah, Outlaws would be an interesting place.
And if we're already getting Kira, I mean, I guess it's not really a question. Like it very well could happen.
Yeah, that's true. We're getting. Did you see in that game, by the way, the Outlaws game, that the Jabba the Hutt like mission is an expansion pack? Like you have to pay for that.
Yeah. Well, I kind of fucked up and I already pre-ordered it. So
really, I did not pre-order it.
The second it went on sale to pre-order, I was like, all right, like here's my credit card, like go, like. So I kind of shot myself in the foot with it.
No, it looks decent. I actually think it looks like an okay game, and I like that time period. The weird thing for me is that they're essentially using this game and the Crimson Dawn comics to like replace what was Shadows of the Empire. You know, Shadows of the Empire was like multimedia, and it took place in the same time period, and it really circled around like Boba Fett and Leia and Caesar and all that. Even Luke, you know, was in it. But so it's just kind of like, it seems like they're replacing that era and the whole like Han and Carbonite like story, like with this new Outlaws and Crimson Dawn comics. So part of me is like, I like Shadows of the Empire so much that I don't know if I can ever really like.
I think they're definitely going to incorporate some things to it, but I think it's almost going to run parallel with it. Like it's going to be its own thing.
Do you think we'll see like Black Sun? I mean, because Zsor was in the Crimson Dawn comics for like a minute.
Without a doubt, we're gonna have multiple like easily.
Yeah.
I think it's like how I'm thinking that this one character is Cal Katarn. Like I think that these stories are gonna run parallel. Like they're gonna incorporate some things from the Legends, some things from Shadows, but they're also gonna make their own thing too, just to fit with the current canon. So like I'm keeping a hopeful look that it's gonna just incorporate things and also try to just move them along together, and not fully like be like, no, this didn't happen, because there's some
Right.
great stories in Shadows of the Empire. So I at least I hope anyway that they keep it true to that.
Yeah, I hope they do too. And the thing is, Shadows of the Empire runs like right after Empire Strikes Back, so you're right. There's plenty of room to fit other stories in there. I hope they don't like step all over it, I guess is my thing. But
Yeah,
they've I don't know. They've shown before they don't really care about legends that much, so they're willing to kind of. I mean,
yeah,
even with the Clone Wars live action versus like the Clone Wars multimedia, or not live action, sorry, the Clone Wars CG show versus like the multimedia project that was done, in
and
the early
the crazy
2000s.
thing is that those are both done by George too. So like,
Right, like he was like, "F it, now we're just gonna like
that's kind of
this
where I'm
is."
like I can definitely see going the other way, but there's also around a year to year and a half between ESB and Return of the Jedi. So like, there definitely is time for those stories to still take place. They just have to be done right and not kind of just sidelined.
Right, right,
I mean, there's some pretty cool Luke stuff that happens in between then. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to see any of that in this game
yeah,
just because this is something separate. If anything, it would be like Battlefront 2 where maybe we get like a little bit of Luke for like a mission or something like that. That's maybe.
yeah. I could see him like just being there, kind of thing, like a
Yeah,
cameo. Um,
that's at least at the end, like, at the least is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather them throw in like a Katarn or someone, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
even more than a Luke, just to like give us some Jedi that's like, oh, by the way, this Jedi's still around, and we're bringing them into the fold in canon. So
I'm still saying I think that pilot is Kyle Katarn. I mean,
I mean,
he
he's dressed
literally
exactly the same.
like he looks exactly the exact same. Like I don't know how. Yeah, he's got to show up. I really feel like just maybe just
Yeah, let me
renamed is what they're
see.
gonna go.
Let's see what he. I think someone did like comparison photo online. Let me see if I can find it here.
I mean,
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Hold on, peep this. Um, I gotta share screen. This is the one we want. Yeah,
yeah.
that's Kyle Katarn
So
in the that's in the Heroes of the Galaxy game. So in the game, yeah,
you can't tell me that they don't look even remotely similar. I mean, okay, I'm a little upset that like Timothy Oliphant is playing Cobb Vanth because he would have been the perfect Kyle Katarn.
yeah, he would have been good.
But yeah, no, like
Dude, even the
they know
hair.
what they're doing. They know what the hell they're doing. Like
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. I guarantee it's gonna happen.
if it's because we already got this guy's name and it's like supposed to be something else, but like he could be running an alias because he's a Jedi,
Codename
So
Fulcrum, like
right,
a
right,
bit of Biff for like Andor. Like I guarantee his
yeah.
real name is Kyle Katarn.
I hope so. That'd be really cool. That would get me pretty hyped about the game,
I mean,
actually.
he,
So
he even looks and kind of sounds like Kyle from Outcast and
yeah, that's a
Academy.
good point. A lot of people were like, as soon as he showed up in the first trailer, they were like, "It's
Well,
Kyle. It's Kyle Katarn."
if you put someone in these clothes and like I guarantee they knew that this was how this was going to happen. Like the second that
I would
this
hope they knew.
like
Yeah.
they didn't just do it just to do it. Like there's a reason behind it, and
Right.
we're gonna get Kyle. We have to. I'm still holding hope for my at least seeing something with Dave's movie with my theory about like Ahsoka going to Luke's temple and Kyle being there training somebody. Like
I think that would be one of the cool. I've been thinking about this a lot, obviously, and I definitely want there to be like the thing is we got to get more Luke story either way.
yeah,
So whether they do it in the animation, live action, I don't really care. Like I think for live action purposes, it's probably going to stick to like short cameos because that's the cheapest way to do it unless they recast. I don't think they're going to recast. I just don't think it's in the cards. So
yeah.
what I really think is going to happen is I do think we're gonna go to the temple at some point, and it is gonna be full of students and teachers. I think there's gonna be like a bunch of Jedi there, maybe even Barris if she's still alive. I don't really know. I can't tell if she's alive or not. I can't
I
speculate on that. I think
I
she's dead. Well, I don't
yeah.
know.
By
I
this
don't.
time, I feel like Barris should have like Barris should be done.
it just seems weird because like in Tales of the Empire, they didn't really like say what. I mean, obviously they never do in Star Wars, so it's like it's always leaving the door open for someone to come back. But
I mean, at the same time though, like the Fourth Sister was still like a full Sith and everything in Kenobi, and I guarantee this
yeah.
is after Kenobi, just based off of how old Barriss looks with the time jump. So I think that
Oh, I think it's implied to be before Kenobi.
really, why would she like
Yeah.
with her like changing at the end and like the Fourth Sister like kind of like giving up and like leaving. I took that as this was after Kenobi because during Kenobi she was still like for the Empire, like 110%.
Oh, you're
And
definitely right. It is after.
everything,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
everything with
yeah.
Barriss
Okay.
after, like, she definitely seems like she's like leaving it behind.
You're right. It is after Kenobi. It's 100% after Kenobi. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking.
I mean, unless Barriss is using like her like Force essence to heal people, and it's just like taking like her life essence away from her and making her age drastically. But
That's possible.
at the same time, like, why would she go from like why would the Force sister go from like wanting to leave to just going straight back and being like yes
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
you're right.
like Inquisitors?
No, you're 100% right. So that's post Kenobi, but like I just don't like how they don't put any finality in these like character deaths, man. It's like even like something like Cad Bane, like I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm pretty sure Boba killed
I
him, but
hope he's
like
dead.
there's like no like finality. Like no one knows for sure whether he's dead because it's Star Wars and anyone can come back at any time. So like even Barriss, I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, part of me is expecting to just see her show up at Luke's temple, like at some point.
I feel like if she did and Ahsoka was there, I don't think it would go well, and I don't think that they would like. Why would they bring that in as a plot point? It's kind of like what my thought behind like why would they like what is that gonna do to serve? Unless Barriss kills Thrawn, like unless it's some crazy shit. But like,
Oh
what is it
gosh.
gonna do to like serve the story?
Yeah, yeah, right, right. But I don't know. I've gotten so you know sidetracked now. But what I was basically saying though is like I do think you're right. I think at some point we'll go to Luke's temple, probably in the Dave movie, maybe in Ahsoka season 2. Ezra will go there, and I think there's going to be students, and there's probably going to be some other teachers. I think the other teachers could be Katarn. I think we could see maybe like a Kip Duran or a Corran Horn or someone like that.
Hoping for Corran
Um,
Horn for sure.
yeah, I definitely think there's going to be other Jedi that he's round up by now, and I think a lot of them are going to be EU Jedi just because it makes the most sense. And then once we get our little glimpse of that, then I think we'll finally get the animated show that follows
Yeah,
Luke in his Jedi Academy because there's so much you can do if you've already established. Let's say he's got 15 to 20 Jedi there. Now you can do it like Clone Wars, where every 3 episodes follows like a different character, basically.
yeah, it's its own arc, and
Right.
it could even go just for a season. Just give it like 15 to 20 give it to Bad Batch episodes,
Yeah.
and we could wrap it up on all one season if the writing is there.
Right. And it doesn't need to be like what I'm saying though is if they have enough Jedi, it doesn't need to be the Luke show. It can be
Yeah,
like, they can obviously enhance it a little bit and
I mean,
flesh out other characters.
if it's in Clone Wars
So,
animation, it better be the Luke show. That's all I'm gonna say. If
well, I
it's
mean, I think it will be all for all intents and purposes like the Skywalker Academy, but
yeah,
I think it'll give us a chance to follow because the Clone Wars is the Obi-Wan, Anakin, Ahsoka show, right?
yeah,
But there's arcs that follow Padme, or there's arcs that follow Dooku, or
the bounty
what's
hunters,
what's the pirate's name? I don't know.
Hondo.
Hondo, yeah. So
There's an
you
entire
know,
like 6 episode Boba arc with
right,
Aurra Singh and everything.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so if it could be the Luke show, but at the same time, like there's enough Jedi at his temple now that we can follow other ones. Like, that's what I want to see for the most part.
I would love to see that too. And Dave said recently in an interview too that he still wants to do more stories in the Clone Wars animation, and it's only getting better and better, and that he only wants to keep going further and further with it.
Oh,
While
I
he's
think that's
working,
obviously the case with
like
what we've seen with Tales of the Empire and Tales of the Jedi animation.
that's what I'm saying. Like with Dave working on all these other shows and movies and stuff, he's also writing these on the side and making these happen on the side. So
Yeah.
we're never gonna run out of the Clone Wars animation shows. So I think it's only just a matter of time for when we get that. And I think it definitely would be either after Dave's movie or in between Dave's movie. There's a part 2. Like it's gonna be definitely after it's established. And I definitely think Jason is going to be one of the characters there for sure. I don't
Yeah,
see why he wouldn't.
Jason, Ben Solo, probably.
I think Ezra would end up probably being one of Luke's teachers as well.
Yeah, I think Ezra would kind of be teaching the Kanan way.
Yeah.
That's what he knows. Luke is obviously going to teach the Kenobi way, because what he knows, and the Yoda way, basically. So he's going to be essentially the Grand Master.
Yeah, we're gonna get Grandmaster Luke finally, dude.
And I could see someone like Kyle Katarn, being kind of like the space cowboy guy. So,
Yeah.
which is perfect. Why you say like Timothy Oliphant would have been perfect.
That's what I'm
Space
saying, like-
cowboy, man. He's got it. He's got it unlocked. But it is what it is. We already got him in his. I like Cobb Vanth a lot. Cobb Vanth is a sick character. So
I just can't wait to hear the line from him where he's like, you don't have to call me Master, just call me Kyle.
yeah,
Or you don't have to call me
cool.
Mr. Katarn, just call me Kyle. Like that's gonna like not like even though it's something so small, that's gonna be so impactful because it's gonna show us right away like this isn't the same Jedi Order. Luke allows you to have attachments. He allows you to like get married. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's the
different.
thing. I really hope that he allows them to do that, like he did in the EU. I just with the whole Grogu thing and choose between going to the Mandalorian and being a Jedi. Like I don't know. Part of me thinks like they're scrapping that whole idea. So
I think it's just because of like with it being Luke's first student, I think he almost wanted Grogu to become like a teacher of sorts. So he wanted his head to be in it from the get go.
I mean, that's probably true. Grogu is like 50 years old, so.
And I also Yoda was teaching students at 100.
Right.
So
right.
I think honestly, Luke was probably just trying to like he's probably gonna start out trying to do it the old way and realizing that it's outdated. It needs to be updated for this to work, and that's kind of where it's gonna lead into.
Right. Right.
I mean, I could definitely see Shin being almost like Ezra's Mara. Like I could see Ezra and Shin possibly being a thing in the future. Like
yeah, I could see it.
Like I feel like the relationships are going to happen, and it's just it's going to end up changing.
Well, I hope so because they can't avoid like romance in Star Wars forever. I mean, it existed in the original trilogy. It exists in the prequels. It needs to exist. I think it's part of like. I mean, if you're going to do a space opera, that's just part of it. You know what I mean? You got to have some element of like romance to it. So whether it's Ezra and Shin, or seen a lot of people throw around like Sabine and Shin, or Sabine and Ezra, whatever. Yeah, something's going to happen between those three. And,
like at least in my mind, Star Wars is almost built off of the scoundrel and the princess. So
right.
Like, you're still gonna have those elements.
Oh, I mean, yeah, because look at Empire. I mean, it's the most popular, Star Wars movie, arguably, and I mean that's the whole like Han and Leia, scoundrel the princess. That's when it starts. That's when it begins and kind of kicks off. So
it's funny you mentioned that too.
The iconic scene.
My wife was asking me the other day, like so we were talking about it. She's like, why was Han like kind of like being an ass, not saying like I love you, Mag, and was saying like I know. I was like, well, Harrison wasn't gonna come back. Like I was like, they left the door open because Harrison wanted his character killed, and George was like, no, you can't sell toys if you're dead, and they had to negotiate for Harrison to come back, and that's why he says it back to Leia, or says it to Leia originally in Return of the Jedi, after she gets shot. Like there's like, and she's like,
I also just think it's in character for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like it's just
like he just that's his
way.
That's his way, man. Clark says, I'd like to see a Clone Wars style series that takes place after Return of the Jedi in the aftermath. I agree completely. This is like my one ask of Star Wars basically right now. It's like, give us a post Return of the Jedi Clone Wars series, Clone Wars-esque series. And then let's get some Luke, let's get some Leia, Han, and see what they're up to, and see how they get control of the galaxy. I mean, obviously we know about Jakku and all that stuff through the books, but like, I want to see our heroes like really stepping up for the New Republic.
I really want to see Bloodlines, like there's that story in some way in live action, because like that's such a huge Leia story, and I feel like almost in a way like we need more of that to show like why didn't Leia become the Supreme Chancellor? Why did she go
Yeah.
and lead the resistance? Like
I do think it would help a lot with context around the formation of resistance. I agree.
I mean, it's such a great story. I feel like it needs to be told, and I feel like the perfect way to do it, if you're not going to do it through Thrawn and the heir to the Empire, then would do it in some sort of New Republic era show.
Yeah,
Because I feel like that's like
cool.
that's a perfect thing. Like, obviously like the book is already, I believe the book's already canon, but to
it is. Yeah,
like reinvent the book and bring it into live action would be perfect for Thrawn to use against Leia. I know I've said it before, but it's
yeah. It would
perfect.
be if Thrawn's the one who like planted that info, then that's perfect. I agree. That's kind of what I'm hoping happens because Dave is not afraid to retcon little parts of the book. So when it's Bloodlines is canon, great. Like we know that Leia gets ousted as Vader's daughter. Thrawn needs to be the one who plants that seed. I think that would be like, dude, that would be perfectly in line with
Yeah, with
with what we're seeing, in the Heir to the Empire with Boris Phalia and stuff like that. So it would make a lot of sense. Rambo, what's going on, man? Glad to have you here again. Hope your internet is working great and everything. I know you've had some issues in the past. Peak or Valley lightsaber whip? Oh man, I'm not sure what to think about this one. Did you see it?
I
Did you see the
saw.
clip?
I didn't see the clip. I saw Star Wars Meg's like screenshot. Oh, you have it?
I have
I
it.
couldn't find it. I saw Star Wars Meg's like thumbnail with it.
Yeah, here you go. You're gonna see it here in a second.
I just saw it on the preview thing.
There it is.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick.
I'm sorry. I don't know how that makes like physical sense. like this is supposed to be
Okay,
a plasma blade.
it shouldn't have been solid in a solid blade first. It should not have been in a solid blade first. That's all I gotta say. Like
I'm just so confused, man. I'm going with Valley. Thanks, Agent Llama Bro.
Look at the Praetorian guards with they're kind of like whips.
Yeah, that's a different thing though. This is like a full on plasma like whip.
I think it's going to be different. I don't think it's going to be the exact same as like it can't be the exact same as a lightsaber. I think it's going to be something different.
I mean, she's swinging this thing around. What if it just freaking chopped this guy's head off accidentally?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think power wise it's gonna be like okay. Look at like a training blade, like a training saber. Like it's not gonna. I don't know. I can't see it being too powerful. I think it's going to. I don't know. It looks sick. That's all I gotta say. All right, it looks sick.
The effect looks great.
It shouldn't have been a lightsaber first though. It shouldn't have switched from a lightsaber like right there. Like it shouldn't be a full
she's
lightsaber.
Actually twirling it like a lightsaber first.
Like, okay, so is it like Ezra's first one where he could change it from a lightsaber to a blaster? Is this going to be a lightsaber, the button you hit to change to a whip?
Well, in canon, so I've read about her. She modified it to become a whip. It's a lightsaber she modified.
Okay, then it's gonna. They have to like power it down then to where it's not gonna like. If you hit somebody with that, you're chopping them in half. There's no question about it. So you have to lower like the power coming out of it.
I mean, I just don't understand it. I can't say I'm on board. But once again, I haven't seen the show.
Oh, what was that explosion?
I'm holding all my judgment until the show comes out. So looks like it's in some rock formation.
I think that's
there.
that rock temple, like where it's like the two peaks. I think that's where that is. Okay, so this is that clip that I sent you the news article about,
where she says like I'm not doing this or whatever.
Well, yeah, they're walking her off. Like it's like the Anakin and Ahsoka thing, also from the Fugitive with Harrison Ford. It's that like we're getting that Clone Wars parallel.
Right, but obviously, just so everyone knows, like they're twins in the show, and like that's on the poster. On the poster, there's two of Amanda Selbrig or whatever her name is.
So
like, they're twins. One's a dark sider, one's probably a light sider. That I don't know, but something's going on. and it's going to be revealed that one of them isn't bad, one of them is, or she's a really good liar. She's
I
playing
think
two
it's gonna
people.
be like one is that Sith Lord, and then the other one is obviously from the light side.
Interesting. Well, they're twins, so I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I I don't want to hate on anything before it comes out, though. Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi is like Battle of Midway. I'd like to see Battle of Coruscant. Absolutely, man.
Oh, we're going to see the Battle of Coruscant. It's happening in Dave's movie. Thrawn is. I don't want to spoil it, but just be ready for one of the most favorite planets to not be so favorite after
Yeah,
the movie.
Thrawn wreaks havoc on Coruscant in the novels. But the other thing we know about the New Republic is like they're not even on Coruscant come Force Awakens. So clearly something goes down on Coruscant. Is all
I
I'm gonna
mean, they're not going
say.
to be in Hosnian Prime either after the Force Awakens.
Right,
So I
right.
mean,
Well, yeah, that's the way it goes. Really, the rebellion is starting to stick it to the Empire in the later stages of the war. Yeah, I would love to see the whole like the Empire's like final stand in kind of that animation too. I think that'd be really cool.
wasn't it like there was like right before the fall of the Empire, there was about 200,000 active troops in the Empire, and there was maybe 10,000 rebels in total.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's Operation Cinder, right? There's Operation Cinder, and then there's Jakku. So there's a few different things that happen after Endor.
Yeah.
There's room there.
I'm just saying, like those odds. Like, I don't think we've ever really gotten to see like those odds and like the impact that it has. The fact that this small, it's a big number, but the fact that this small rebel cell is able to do this much damage to the Empire with how big they are is absurd, but really interesting too.
Well, it's the Viet Cong, you know. It's like
Yeah.
that's what the whole
That's what George.
So,
Yeah.
but I love that Andor gives us that context. Man,
Yeah.
of like how they were able to create such chaos in the Empire while obviously remaining pretty much hidden and having only a few people. I really like Luthen, Luthen's strategy of getting everything organized. Yeah, man, it's freaking awesome. Rambo says, I just think they don't know what they are doing with that Disney Star Wars. I think he means the light whip.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like.
Just because like we're kind of on this topic, it's going to be a long video. I'm assuming it's probably gonna be 20 to 30 minutes long. I'm gonna be going over and like diagnosing and analyzing like what went wrong with The Last Jedi and how to fix it and how I would fix it, and what the real version of The Last Jedi should have looked like. And this is gonna be before Acolyte. This is a big video that I'm working on. Is like what went wrong, how do we fix it, and what would that look like when it's fixed? How would The Last Jedi look in a fixed state? Almost like rewriting it.
So that's the thing. So I'm curious to know, because I'm curious to see what you kind of come up with. But The Last Jedi, in a way, cannot be fixed, right? Because they're not going to redo the movie. The movie exists in itself. So there's no rewriting it. There's rewriting the context around it.
It's a fan fiction of how this could have went. Sorry, I should have said that. Like how this could have went right.
Yeah.
So it's not going. It's going to pick up in the middle of The Force Awakens and go into Rise, but I'm not going to go touch Rise. I just because I don't I haven't seen many videos on it like how this movie could have been redeemed from the get go. How this could have been changed to give us the best Star Wars the best Star Wars that we could have had in a long time. Not going to be super overpowered with Luke. Not going to be super opinion based. Just factual with the current canon and everything that we have from Legends.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just think Luke was a fundamentally totally different character than we ever expected or wanted to see, and I think that's part of the huge issue. So that the problems start there, in my opinion. But I think there's ways to fix the canon still. I just don't think you can ever fix that movie truly. Like, I think you can build better context around it, but I don't know.
That's why I wanted to do it in a fan fiction, because it's like what this movie could have looked like if it was done right.
Yeah, I'm never going to redo that, man. Oh no, they're never going to redo it. We're stuck with it for life. So
because I'm doing that, and I'm doing like a long video for X-Men for like what the uncanny X-Men can look like for the MCU if done right. And it's gonna be like one for The Last Jedi for my Star Wars channel and one for my Marvel channel with that.
Yeah.
So it's
So plug your Marvel channel because you got a Marvel channel.
I wasn't gonna plug until I had something out yet first.
Okay, fair enough. We'll plug next week then.
I don't know if it'll be done next week, but hopefully.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
What's going on,
RJ? What's going on, man? Good to have you here. Clark, let Luke do Luke stuff. Yeah. That's like that's the simplest thing and the simplest way to put it. Like people loved Mandalorian season 2 because we're just seeing Luke like be Luke and go get a student and not like he's not there to really kill anyone. He doesn't even care that Gideon's there. He's there to like stop the danger and get his student. And like that's Luke.
He's not being overpowered. He's not okay, for example, I love Starkiller, but he's not pulling a fucking Star Destroyer out of the sky. He's not doing anything crazy. And I think maybe that's what like the fear is that like if you show Luke he has to be doing all this crazy stuff, he has to be super powerful. He doesn't.
No, he just needs to be Luke. Dude, the Book of Boba Fett episode, he doesn't even use the Force, and it's perfect.
I mean, he's picking Grogu up like this, but I mean, like that's
well,
the most
yeah, but I mean, like, he's not like you know what I mean. He's not like using it in defense or attack or anything like that.
He's not moving the mountains out of the way like they are in the Last Jedi. Like he's not like he's not reforming mountains.
Right. I just think, let Luke be Luke. That's obviously the fundamental issue they have with the Last Jedi and stuff. Is like they did not let Luke be Luke. They wanted him to not overshadow Rey and the new stars of the show and Kylo and who the hell else. I mean, I don't, it's just so
hopefully it'll be out in the next week or I'm hoping it'll be out soon. I'm
looking forward to it.
Really working on it. I'm trying to make it like the best I can and not be too pushy with certain things and make it. I want it to like if you were to watch the video, I want it to be like you could visibly see like this movie happening, like from back then. Like going into the theater, you would have thought that this was the movie you were going to see.
Well, yeah, I can tell you what I would have wanted to see or what I thought I was going to see. It wasn't Leia flying through space. That's for damn sure. Whew, what a movie. What a movie. I'm back to insane stream delay. Thanks, you too. Dude, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's a bummer. Should we talk about some news though? Should we get into the news? All right. So Acolyte posters. This is kind of the first look.
Yeah, it's just the character posters. We're gonna get
those are character posters. Soon. Yep, those are character posters. All right.
I will say I'm really excited to learn more about Daphne King's character.
Yeah, she's cool. I mean,
I'm just interested like what she's going to bring to the story. Because why would you cast Daphne King and not have her be important to the story?
That's true. I mean, honestly though, we could probably say the same about Trinity's character. Like that was who I was most excited for, and now I'm like,
I think for like what it means to the story though, her character should be important enough. I at least I hope. I could be wrong. I really hope.
I mean, I will say about Daphne King's character, she looks similar in age to the Acolyte, so maybe they have like a past or something.
That's very true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one is interesting. So this is the woman who plays Bix in Andor. I think Tony Gilroy's writing is so smart that wherever people think my character's journey is going to go, it's 10 times more complex than people imagine.
Because her, like last time we saw her brain was pretty much fried. Like,
yeah,
so where they're gonna go from that is like I don't even have like a thought to where they're gonna go from that. And if she's already hinting at it, then that means like it's going to be intense.
Dude, Gilroy is cooking up something crazy. Like for sure. This season 2, Andor, let's go. he goes, finally some good news, dude. I agree. This show is going to be, season 2 is going to be like out of this world. And I actually think because of all the great word of mouth and now that people have caught up to Andor and they're like, yeah, this is a great show, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think it's going to perform extremely well when it comes out.
Oh, without a doubt. The hype around it is going to be way more intense than it was around the first season.
Yeah, well, the first season is one of the only, also, if you look at like the numbers, it's one of the only, besides Mando season 2, like Disney Plus shows to gain in viewership over the course of the season. most of the shows decline in viewership.
It's also the only Disney Plus show that get delayed for getting pushed out, like obviously before the writer strike, like getting delayed,
right,
to make the show better and it actually being better. Not saying like we saw anything before, but like I think that extra month really made it perfect.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything really wrong with the show.
Oh no, the show I think is really tight. The writing is incredible. Obviously the effects, dude.
Dude, don't even get me started on the visuals. You can do a whole film class on the visuals.
It looks like a movie. I mean, it's incredible. So I'm really excited for Andor season 2, which is the final season, unfortunately. But
we're gonna get more Tony Gilroy in Star Wars.
I really hope so. I hope he gets a movie after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those lightsaber swing effects do not look right to me on those character posters. I want to say they look like playing cards, but I don't think that's it. Let me go back to that.
I think it's because like with the motion blur, they don't want it to like be like the white for character posters. They don't want it to be the full like white light in the middle. So they're trying to change how the motion blur looks to make it look cool and not look like a white flash.
Yeah,
like a white box.
I think it's just a player or a player. I was thinking player cards. I think it's just a poster, like a stylistic choice. I don't think it's
they're not going to look like this in the show at all.
Yeah,
like it's literally just for the
I don't think they'll look like that in the show either. So this is probably the most interesting thing.
Yeah, I saw this. Instantly, I saw this. I was like, I have to send this to you.
Yeah, the Mandalorian and Ahsoka still have high viewership on Disney Plus at the start of 2024. So this is 2024, like so far, how the viewership looks like on Disney Plus.
And like Ahsoka season 1 and Mando, like they're outbeating some like insane shows on here, which is kind of insane still after almost a year to 2 years after the fact.
I will say Ahsoka is not so surprising because it's still kind of fresh. You know, it came out like middle to late last year, like fall of 2023. Yeah, well, the most surprising, and that's why I'm not shocked about Mandalorian season 3 too, because some people are just behind on TV, and this happens to me all the time, right? Like, I just started Shogun like last night. It's done.
I started Shogun 3 days ago.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm like, I'm behind. Like and I don't. If it's not a Star Wars show, I'm probably not starting it immediately. And same with like Fallout. Like it was out for like a couple of weeks before I started watching it, and I had heard a lot of great word of mouth, so I finally started it. Like,
yeah, because I messaged you when I started watching it. I think that was like 2 weeks after the fact as well.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not shocked about Mando season 3 and Ahsoka season 1. Like, because people are probably like, oh, I want to catch up, blah, blah, but like they don't get around to it till 2024. And that's totally fine. It makes sense. I think that also is kind of why Percy Jackson probably is there as well. Is like, obviously it came out in December, I think.
Yeah, it was December release.
Yeah, so it pushed into 2024. A lot of people probably started it in 2024. I think so that those make sense. Mando season 1 is the shocker, though.
Yeah,
is the shocker. Like, people are still starting Mandalorian
and
right
that's
now
why,
in 2024 for the first time.
Like, when I saw this is why, like, I was like, all right, there is still hope to get more seasons on Mando. Like, get a season 4 to now. Like, we know Ahsoka season 2 is gonna happen, but like the fact that the viewership charts are still this high for those shows at this time means that there's still an audience for it, and Disney definitely is seeing that too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I doubt it. Maybe just based on how well season 2 goes for Ahsoka, we could possibly even get an Ahsoka season 3. Like, this is already going in that direction with the viewership still being up. Like, because I would have expected the viewership starting to die off by now, honestly.
Yeah, I would too. Like, it's pretty high. It's only really below Bad Batch.
And that's because Bad Batch
shows that came out in 2024, right? So as far as
sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, as far as shows that came out in 2024, the first 4 did come out in 2024, and then Ahsoka is the next one.
Like,
well, I'm sorry, Renegade. No, I don't even know what that is. That's
yeah, I don't either. I could definitely see Bad Batch dropping, like either in between Mando and Ahsoka or after Mando season 3
by the end of 2024.
Yeah, I could see Bad Batch dropping those and then those coming up. If this is what we're already seeing now, 5 months into the year.
Yeah, I wish Variety would release these more often. Yeah, I would like to see more of this. X-Men 97, I'm not even shocked here. It's for an animated show that's extremely good viewership.
I think it's gonna go up. I think that's gonna skyrocket. That's probably gonna be replacing Echo. Echo's gonna get knocked out soon.
I think so too. X-Men has a lot of great word of mouth. I really haven't seen anyone complain about it online, and it's a great show. It's well deserving. Well deserving.
It's funny. Everyone after the first 2 episodes was like, I saw videos of people just shitting on it, and now not a single bad video.
Yeah, it's
like it's.
It proved the haters wrong. That's all I can say about X-Men.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It definitely has made Marvel like almost start like. They know that they need to do it right when they bring them in live action. Like for their own movie, they need to hit it home just like this show.
Oh well, now they're gonna. I'm not even kidding. Like the live action, like X-Men that Marvel's gonna start. Like we've already had a lot of live action X-Men. It's been okay. It's not been good.
It also hasn't been fully under Marvel either. That was like
right.
Fox and
right. But like if 97 is any indication, like it needs to be done like that because it was awesome.
Honestly, I think with like I just going on a little tangent real quick with this. I think for like the canon event for each, like for example, like I don't know if you saw it Across the Spider-Verse, but there was like canon events, like Uncle Ben has to die.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like there has to be like a certain like per universe like a event that will always happen regardless. Like in What If in season 1 with Christine Palmer dying, I think that is going to be like the Tolerance of Extinction, but like with Geonosia, with the destruction of Geonosia. I think that's going to be like the canon event. Like this has to happen in every single universe in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and that's why Cable couldn't stop it at all. That's pretty.
Yeah, and that's why I think like we're gonna get Geonosia happening in live action.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
But that's all I gotta say about Marvel stuff.
Yeah, and another thing I want to just note on 97 real quick is that like that just proves the point we've been saying all along about like non-canon shows in animation can perform really well and can bring in an audience, and they don't have to tie into the live action movies at all, and still, a lot of people can enjoy them. So Star Wars can take a lot. There's a lot to learn from 97 and the success it's having. So that's all I'm going to say.
And 97, all the writers, like they are fans. Like the show is created by fans, and it shows and it works.
Yeah. Oh, you can see it, man. Agelon Prop says, did you guys see the leaked season 2 trailer for Andor from Celebration? Yes. Looks great, man. The crazy part about that trailer is that that was what, 2023?
Yeah.
We're not getting the show till 2025.
I don't know if you saw the document I sent you. Like, I don't know if you even like really looked at it. But Andor is already in post production. They're done filming. Like,
they're done. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, there's 2 years to cook up the fucking visual effects, the story. Like, this season 2 is going to be insane. Like, it's going to be insane when we get it. I can't wait.
Lumber Prop says there's a scene where someone has Dr. Gorst at gunpoint. That's the guy who tortured Bix. Making me think she's the one who has him at gunpoint. That'd be crazy if she gets revenge on him. That'd be nuts.
That would be insane.
God, dude, that show's gonna be so good.
RJ says, seeing as they do the similar effects in the comics, I can get past it. I just found it funny. Yeah, it's just like
he means the lightsaber.
Yeah, it's definitely just promotional. If they were to do that in live action, it would create so much shit. They're not gonna do that for live action.
Yeah.
Definitely does look a little funny though. RJ says we also have to get Vera Sooth coming in Doctor Who. I haven't watched Andor yet, but I heard she was in it. Wasn't a huge fan of Rogue One, so that's probably what turned me off of it. Dude, trust me, give Andor a shot. Get through the first 4 episodes because they're a little bit slow. And you will be rewarded. Like, I guarantee, like, you will love Andor. Especially being a Legends guy like you are, you will love it.
It's very different from what you're expecting with Star Wars, I'd say. And it's even different tonally than Rogue One. So I definitely give it a chance. 100%.
Just get past the first 4 episodes, and you'll be hooked.
I agree.
This is what I was talking about with the shot in the trailer. Leslie Hendlin came out saying that she loves the Clone Wars, and that her favorite episode is The Wrong Jedi, which she had took inspiration from that. Which The Wrong Jedi is the episode where Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order after being framed and everything. And we saw
Yeah.
that shot in the trailer where they're kind of like walking her off the edge of the cliff there.
Yeah, and if you watch the trailer, she's saying like
So like
I didn't
20,
do
yeah, yeah,
it. Like she's like I didn't do this. It's not me. So that's clearly what I think
yeah.
the parallel is there. Yeah, what is she gonna do? Jump? Maybe.
I mean, Ahsoka did because like I wouldn't say it's paralleling like the shot. There is one shot where Anakin is in a like a the sewer drain talking to Ahsoka,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the shot it's paralleling.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's a good shot.
Jedi Prime.
Yeah, so this producer, Simon Emanuel, he basically said that they're working on James Mangold's Jedi Prime. It's set thousands and thousands of years before the original trilogy, and I'm really excited to see what happens there. He called it Jedi Prime. So do we think this is called Jedi Prime now? Because it was supposed to be like the origins of the Jedi, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's going to follow Jedi Prime, which, if you guys don't know, with new canon from The Last Jedi, Jedi Prime was the first ever Jedi. I'm hoping they take stuff from the Jedi Order and bring it in. I don't think it's gonna be solely following this one person. I definitely think they're gonna be like the main character, like they're gonna be like the Luke Skywalker of this time. But I really hope they tie in the Jedi Order and everything with that.
Yeah,
On
I do too. I really do too. You know, because Dawn of the Jedi, like the original Legends comics, they have some really cool stuff with Tython, and I think there's such an opportunity here to have a huge tone, you know, difference between the normal saga as well in this Jedi Prime. It could be really cool.
This might be kind of weird, like, or out there for me saying this, but I would rather not even see a lightsaber at this point. I'd rather them still be using swords and starting to make the proto sabers.
Kind of agree. Kind of agree.
Like, I don't want to see any kyber crystal. I want to see them having the battery pack on their belts. Like,
yeah, it'd be cool to see them without the sabers for sure.
it would almost remind me of Rebel Moon in a way, with how they're doing like the effect for like
yeah,
Nemesis blades. Like that's kind of how I want to see it, just because of like that's what it was before.
right. The lightsaber evolved over time. So I would like to see that too for sure. I did also finish Dark Forces. Soldier for the Empire is a great book. Yeah, Dark Forces series is really cool. Yes, Star Wars version of the Prime drink, Jedi Prime.
I could definitely, as weird as it is, I could definitely see like a promotion thing for it. Like,
I think, well, when I think Jedi Prime, I think Optimus Prime. We're getting like robots, guys. Confirmed.
Bring some Jamba Juice.
Yeah. Daisy says she absolutely wants Boyega to come back for her movie. It feels like we should. Yeah, of course she's gonna say yes to a question and interview. Like this means nothing essentially. That's what this means. This means nothing. If an interviewer asks you, it is. If an interviewer asks you, "Hey, would you like John Boyega to come back for your movie?" You think she's just gonna be like, "No, I do not want that guy to come back."
Like, no, I'm fresh off it. Like you said in the one interview, I'm fresh off it.
Yeah, right. He might say that, but
she's no, he said that he's willing to come back now. Like he's
I know.
I
saw. Like, he basically said like, "Yeah, I'd come back now."
I think they just slid him a nice check. He's like, all right.
He'll probably make a cameo in the movie. Is my my guess.
Okay,
who knows?
Hang on. Wouldn't this be sick if he was almost like leading, like, okay, for example, like if there was like Jedi that broke off of Rey's order, for example, like, and were disillusioned, and he was like the herald of this new order, and it was almost like the reinvention of like the Sith in a way. Like, it's really out there, but I was just like, dude, like that'd be kind of cool. Like if he's like training, like if he ends
are they like leaning into the dark side? Because like that's a whole nother thing.
I don't know about I don't. I'm just saying like breaking off of her order and like taking like the children that like don't want to be there anymore. I don't know. Okay, at first before I opened my mouth, it sounded better in my head, but now it's like
I honestly honestly don't even care what they do with this movie. Like I
don't either, dude.
I do not care at all. This movie, excited. For all I care, can just not even come out.
I mean, it's still Star Wars, so I'm still excited for it. I'm still gonna see it, but I have zero expectations, and I'm just going in to watch it and just to see Like, all right, just to see what they're
I
gonna do.
honestly don't know if I'll spend the money. This might be a Disney Plus day one for me. So I'm like, I don't think I want to support. Like, it's more of a principle thing for me. Is like I very much dislike where the story went with 8 and 9. So much so that I'm like, I'm not really willing to support that era. So like, I don't buy um collectibles in that era, like, at all.
Yeah,
Like, I don't do that. I
I
don't
don't
want to
either.
spend money on that era, including a new movie. Um, if they made a new TV show, I probably wouldn't really be excited about it. I'll say that much. So I don't want to support that era. I want to tell them like what I want is post Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
era. That's what I want. So
I mean,
I'll support Mando movie, Dave's movie, Dave's show that comes out, Ahsoka or whatever is next. So
I
yeah.
definitely think they got like they understand that, especially after like how Resistance bombed. Like anything that they've done in this era has bombed. So I think that like they understand that, and like honestly, I don't even want to see anything with these characters anymore. But
I'd
I'm just
rather them move past them. Yeah, I'd
yeah,
rather them
I'm
move
just
past them.
interested to see like what they're gonna pull from Legends, what stories they're gonna change, because then I'd be like, all right, so here's what we're actually gonna do, like for like fan fiction wise or for like project wise, be like, all right, so this is what they decided to do, and here's what we're gonna do to fix it, like in our own way. Like that's kind of like the
Yeah.
reason why I'm looking at it, is just because like, all right, what are they gonna fuck up so that I can make a video on how to fix it? Like that's kind of like
You
my
know
at least
they're
my
gonna
thought
screw up
behind it.
something, dude. I don't.
Like,
Yeah, you know they're gonna screw up something, especially because they're gonna try and take some stuff from the original New Jedi Order, and they're gonna. I mean, it's not gonna be the same at all. We don't have Luke. We don't have Leia. We don't have Han. We don't have the Solo kids. We don't have the Skywalker child. We don't. We have nothing. We have Rey Skywalker, who's a Palpatine. Like, how am I supposed to get excited about that? How am I? I'm not. Like, that's the thing.
that's
I'm
what I'm
just
saying.
not.
I'm
So
excited because it's a Star Wars movie, and that's where it ends. Like
I'm not even excited about that. Like, I wish they just wouldn't make it. I
that's
wish
fair.
they would not make this movie. I hope that it gets canceled somehow. And then and I 100% do. And it's nothing against Daisy at all. Like, nothing against her. I hope she gets some great project that is not a Star Wars project, because she's fine, but I don't like this era. I don't like it at all. So that's me. That's my rant. Um, I hope you see it, and I hope you tell me all about it and how terrible it is. I hope you don't have great things to say about it, because that's going to force me to watch it.
Dude,
But
I'm just like, come and do this was the best movie I've ever seen.
yeah,
Just like,
right,
dude, this was
right.
better than Dune 2. Like,
I'm
just
like, shit.
um,
Yeah, man. I don't fucking know. Jesus.
um, or just says if there is one thing Star Wars, sorry, if there is one Star Wars show I think is needed, it's the continuation of the Vision shorts, the Ninth Jedi. It had so much lore behind it, and it's pretty free, and it's set in the far future. I understand. I'm with that, and honestly, like one of the things with the sequels for me anyway is that like it's too far in the future to where it's like it's you could still bring in these characters like Luke Skywalker. Like if it was past that, I would be totally fine with them doing whatever the hell they wanted.
Right.
And with that's why like I'm fine with Visions because it's so far in the future and it's its own thing with some of
Yeah.
the stories anyway.
If this movie was going to be 100 years in the future, like, sure, you know what, I'd probably go see it, because then I know I'm not going to have any tie-ins to the Rise of Skywalker, or
Palpatine returning.
whatever. Yeah, I'm not like, that's over. It's long gone. We'll have a whole new set of characters, because everyone from
That's
the
what we
sequels will be
need.
dead.
Like
Yeah, that's what we need. I agree. It
like don't
RJ
bring
makes
in
a great
any
point.
returning characters. Even Grogu, don't bring him in. Like go 1,000 years from now and then give us stories with these new characters. Give us our own prequels now with a whole wide cast of new characters we
Mhm.
haven't seen before, stories we haven't heard of before, and make it something new and special.
I mean,
That's my rant.
maybe that's what we're gonna get with Prime. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I think they're also kind of trying that with Acolyte. I just don't know if, like, I want a movie. I don't think TV shows are the right medium to do that. I think you're right. 1,000 years in the future, give us something brand new we haven't seen before, new characters, make it fresh. Like,
Give us a movie as the starting block, and then you can make shows off of that movie because those characters and that world's already established. If not, you're spending half of the show establishing that world. Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka, but that's what they did with the first couple
mhm.
episodes.
Oh yeah, the first 4
So
episodes are like,
like
"Hey, by the way, here's like how everything's gonna be set up." Like, we know we're going to get Thrawn. Like, that could have been wrapped up in 2 episodes, maybe 1.
that could have been one episode. Like,
Yeah,
so like they need to just have the movie come out first, and then if the fans want it or if it's enough, make a show after that, like continuing the story until like, the next movie of it, like as a placeholder in between.
yeah.
That's my gist of it.
Um, I do want to say, RJ, the Ninth Jedi might be my favorite short from Visions. It's freaking incredible, and it's one of those things. It's like I kind of hoped in Vision season 2 we'd get a continuation episode of it, because that would have been. I mean, that was like a pilot episode of a great anime to come. I'm 100% on board with that. If they just gave us an anime of Ninth Jedi, because it takes place so far distant in the future, where the the Jedi Order essentially doesn't really exist, and what I mean, it's like the concept of Jedi has just changed so much at that point. So it's really cool. I like the Ninth Jedi. That's an awesome short.
I look at it as almost like the story for the new Planet of the Apes, like Caesar's image and his
Mm-hmm.
like his whole philosophy has been changed, like almost like a game of telephone. Like it's been
Yeah,
passed down so much that it's entirely different than what it used to be and what it means. And honestly,
right.
I would be even
It's
fine with
almost like
getting
his words are being manipulated, like and
yeah.
used, against what he initially wanted them to be.
I would honestly I would go for having an entire show or even like a movie around the Ronin. Like
Yeah, that'd be cool.
like yeah, it's there's so much to do with those mini stories and stuff. Like it's kind of insane.
Yeah, some of the Vision stuff is like kind of but some is really good. So it's hit or miss. I did hate the lightsaber fights in Akakiri, though. The final short of Visions, is that Vision season 1? And you might have to remind me which one that is, because
Is
I
that
actually
like the big like battle inside the ships? Is that what the one he's talking about?
I don't know. That one doesn't ring any bells for me, which is probably not good. Probably means I didn't like it, didn't watch it more than once. Um, it looked like you saw echoes of the movements rather than actually watching the fight. Interesting. The final short of season 1. I mean, I honestly don't know which one that is. That's not the bride or whatever? That's not, or is no, that can't be.
Oh, I'm looking up right now.
Huh, I don't know. I don't know which one that is. I found it here.
I don't remember this. I don't even remember this episode. I gotta rewatch Visions. I don't even remember this episode.
I don't remember this either at all. Like, I probably watched it once, I didn't like it, and then I never watched it again. Like Night Jedi, I've seen a couple, maybe 3 times, because I really like it. I think it's a good setup. I've seen the one from season 2 a couple times, the Studio Mirror one at the Journey to the Dark Head. That one's sick.
I'll say
Um,
I really
that
didn't
was
watch
good.
season 2. I watched like season 1 with the Ronin and everything. I got through the Boba Fett episode, like with
Oh god,
like
Tatooine
after
Rhapsody.
that
Yeah, I
yeah
remember that one.
after that episode I was like, dude, I'm not watching the show anymore. And I watched the episode where there was like these two, like I want to say Sith, but they were like fighting outside of like on the outside of a Star Destroyer, for example. And that's
Oh, that one's cool.
and like after that I was kind of just like, really isn't for me. It was just
Yeah, fair enough.
that
It's
Boba
very
episode
anime.
really took me out. I was just like, all right, I'm off. I'm fresh off that. It's good.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it's very the season 1. The thing I liked about it is that they really leaned into Japanese anime, so like it is very much like different styles of anime. I actually like the twins. I think it's pretty cool. Trigger did that one, Studio Trigger, and they did the Cyberpunk Edge Runners show. If you don't know, which is another great anime, by the way, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. If you guys haven't watched it on Netflix, check it out. That shit is awesome. So they did that one. I thought that one was good, not great. The really only one I really loved from season 1 was the Ronin and the Night Jedi.
I was say I'm very picky with my anime and like what I like and like what styles. Like for me, like I think Cowboy Bebop is perfect. Same thing with
Yeah, Bebop is like Bebop's like my number 1 style.
so
If
like
I could
that's
pick one style, it's like that's what I want. Yeah,
and that's kind of like if it's
100%.
not that, I'm kind of just, or if it's not, even like Avatar: The Last Airbender, if it's not like Trigon or Avatar or Um, Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, it's not for me. Like,
Well,
it's
you would definitely like Journey to the Darkhead then, because it's very Avatar: Last Airbender from season 2. It's Studio Mir, so I would recommend that one big time.
okay.
That one's really cool. Great animation, freaking great animation, dude. Mir kills it. Studio Mir did X-Men 97 also.
I was gonna say Studio Mir is always gonna be my good graces after X-Men 97.
Yeah. Tales of Rogue Squadron, the Starfighter Corps is the backbone of the rebellion. It would be like RAF and Battle of Britain, the Flying Tigers of China in 1941. I agree. I would love Tales of the Rogue Squadron and add in Corran Horn, man. That would be so sick. I'd be all for that.
I could have Clark voice him too.
Yes, Clark needs to get in there, voice some pilots. We get Lucasfilm to hire you, man. That'd be awesome.
Honestly, like from everything with Dark Forces, Heir to the Empire, and Last Command, my goal with it is just to have somebody, like even like Ben, just to have somebody go and do some work with Lucasfilm afterward, just because of what they've been able to accomplish.
I know. That's the goal, right? I mean, it'd be really cool if we could get someone to get into Lucasfilm.
I mean,
in some way.
they literally, like, for example, like for like with GTA 6, they took the modding community from 5M and started hiring them, like start hiring fans. It's going to be the key to making stuff work. X-Men 97 is a perfect example of it. Like,
video games have been really good about that. Shows not so much, because Hollywood is kind of like, I don't know what the fuck my cat's doing. My cat's like eating something on the desk. Sidetrack. Hollywood's been really bad about that. They really gatekeep, you know what I mean? So they don't want like they don't really want like outsiders in, whereas the gaming community has been really accepting of it. Like you said with GTA, another one is the college football game that's coming out. They hired the people who did like a revamped version of the 2014 version. So it's been 11 years since we've had another college football game, and like the new one's coming out. They hired people who did revamped modding on it. And just like GTA, they had people who did the modding. They hired them to come work on it. So
Fallout is a prime example of when you hire the fans and have fans have control, it works. Like, I think Fallout is a prime example of that, because it works so well. And it's done so great. Like,
I'm not saying that like a fan can come in and direct a movie or something like that. That's not what I'm saying.
No, they got that with Robert Rodriguez. Like, we already got that.
And I'm also not saying that a fan can write a movie. Like, I'm gonna be a little bit of a hater for a second, and I don't mean this as any like slight on anyone, but like I see a lot of fan films, you know, and I'm sure mine would be the same if I had a 30-minute plus fan film, where it's just a little sloppy from time to time, and things aren't hitting as hard as maybe they would in a Hollywood production, because we're not professional writers. We're not professional. We're not screenwriters. We don't know how to storyboard properly. We're not cinematographers. We're not directors. So there's going to be stuff that falls short, but I'm saying you need fan input. I don't think you need fans to just say, okay, well, high bunch of fans, they're going to create this. Like, they're not. Yeah, no, they're going to fail.
That's just like the very like Broadway, like the very like bland waving, like hire fans, because like,
right.
I mean, like Sam Witwer is a perfect example of let him have some creative input, let him have some say.
Yep.
Like, for example, if Sam, Dave, and John were the big three for Star Wars, can you even imagine the amount of sheer amazing content we would get from them? Like,
right.
If you
Sam's the perfect example. You're right.
Yeah, like Sam Witwer is the perfect example for it. Is like, you have to like give them just enough for what they're doing to make sense, but to not overpower everything. Like, you can't just like, okay, like you could hire like a fan to like direct a movie, but half the movie could, like, okay, Josh Trank with the Fantastic Four from 2015, perfect example. Huge fan, terrible execution. The 2003 Daredevil. The director was a huge fan of Daredevil. We had to do all these stories and try putting 4 different comic book storylines into one movie, and that's why it bombed. Right. Along with the studio only giving them 60 days to film the movie instead of 140 like they originally planned. Like, fans need to have some sort of control with it, but it needs to be tapered.
it's just like I think they need input. I think
Yeah,
that's what it. And I think Sam, like you said, is a great person. Clark says, if anything, it would be
exactly.
wise for Lucasfilm to hire fans as consultants of some kind. I agree. Like the fact that this is the thing, the fact that everyone sat there and watched, all the people at Lucasfilm, all the executives at Lucasfilm sat there and watched The Last Jedi and said, "Yeah, this is great. Sign this guy on for 3 more movies. Let's go ahead and release this sucker." And they did that, and they felt that was the right move, tells you enough that there was no fan of the original trilogy sitting in that freaking room.
Yeah. And that's what I'm
all you
saying.
need to know.
Like we just have to give it another year for Dave's full control to like fully start stepping in, for us to start seeing stuff starting to turn around. Minus everything with the right movie, that's separate because Lucasfilm's gonna have, like, Disney's gonna have their hands all in the fucking pot in that one. But
Yeah,
with these shows we're getting, stuff will start turning around. We just have to give it some time because things will start turning the right way. I mean, Sam has worked on every single live action project, like show wise, that's come out. He's done voice work for every single show. Every single end credit scene or end credits, it's had Sam doing additional voices.
oh yeah,
So
he's in there.
you know he has to be giving some sort of input.
He's hanging around Lucasfilm all the time, man. He basically lives there.
dude just has a room there. Like he's just
he 100% does, man. He's at the Skywalker Ranch all the time. He says so. I skipped this one. Sorry, RJ. Lapa and Ocho was the last one I watched. That's from season 1. I remember that one. The emotion in the final confrontation with Lop's sister I found very emotional. Even if we had another lightsaber wound survival, yeah, another survival. Chalk it up. But no, that's a good one. It's not. I mean, once again, it's not my favorite, but it's good. Season 1 better than season 2, in my opinion. But NCAA revamp game is off the hook. Yeah, dude, they killed it with that. And the new one coming out, I might actually pre-order a video game. I might.
With the Avatar game that was coming out, or that came out in December, I was going to pre-order it, and I got cold feet last minute, and I'm glad I did because it doesn't look too promising. So I still haven't played it yet. I want to, but
I kind of want to play it too, but I've heard it's not amazing.
I'm kind of just waiting for the Epic Games like sale to go on to where it's like $20. I can get behind it. Yeah, I don't know. It's very hit or miss, I feel like.
Yeah.
The new Assassin's Creed game though, it looks sick.
Dude, it's Ubisoft.
That's kind of okay. That's what I'm saying about Star Wars Outlaws. Like, I feel like it's not going to be as great as it should be, but I'm still hoping because they did give us Fallen Order and Survivor. That still is Ubisoft because it's EA, which is owned by Ubisoft.
Yeah, but Ubisoft is not making Fallen Order though, or whatever, or Survivor. They don't. Yeah. Their tag is nowhere to be seen on those. On that game.
I guess that's true because EA is. I mean, I just thought EA was owned by Ubisoft, so that's why I was kind of just like.
No, EA is separate.
I thought Ubisoft absorbed EA.
They might have, but I'll tell you one thing: Ubisoft does not have a hand in the production of that game at all. So,
yeah, because no, never mind. That's Respawn. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Respawn is the one. Yeah, Respawn is. Yeah. Okay. There are a lot of game companies which don't like mods, like Nintendo. Yeah, some of these game companies have a stick up their ass. We already saw that one. New TV spot on Star Wars channel for the Acolyte. Was that the white light whip one that we showed already?
That's the one that you just showed from Reddit.
Yeah, I think that's the one that we already watched.
Did you see or did I send you? I think I sent you the one with Soul where it's like it's all in Japanese or not Japanese, in Mandarin. Where the actors talking about everything with how like becoming Soul, like, it was like
I saw that one.
Like BTS one, like like based off of that, I'm excited just because like it seems like even all the actors like they want to make sure they're doing it right.
Yeah, no, I agree that. Dude, I'm like
it's.
I mean, let me put this in one way. Every time a project comes out, it doesn't matter if it's Star Wars, Marvel, fucking Rebel Moon, whatever it is.
Hulu.
It doesn't matter what it is. Like every single time, the actors when they talk about it, like act like it's the second coming of Christ. Like it's like they act like it's the greatest thing they've ever worked on, and that it's like changing their lives, and like they feel so passionate about the project. Every single time, dude. I don't care what an actor says. I do not care until I watch the show. I don't care.
Isn't he also like like helping produce it though? I thought I saw something where he was like,
The dude from Squid Games?
yeah, I thought he was doing something like in the background with it too. That's what kind of why I was like more excited for it, because of like he's having like some sort of input with his character.
I do not know, but when I watched the oh my god, when I sorry, when I watch like have you seen like clip of like Leslie Headland like crying at Celebration like Star Wars
Yeah.
changed my life. Dude, I cringe every single time I see that. Like it's so bad. Like
I mean,
shut up. Like I'm
there's been some
sorry.
insane
Like
stuff said by her, but there's also been some like very good things said by her too. So it's
sure, but like
it's just like what day are you picking today? Are you picking a good day or a bad day?
right, like Star Wars saved your life? All right.
I
Dude,
mean,
I'm like
like
no.
Star Wars has definitely played a part in everyone's life. There's no question about that.
Sure, like all of us, like we all grew up with it. Like
But
I'm sorry. I did I like when they make statements like that, I'm just kind of like, "You know what? I'm good." Like,
I'm good.
I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I don't know. Leslie Headland, Star Wars saved my life. Yeah, right. I'm just here to do my job, dude.
I'm just here to collect my paycheck and go home. Like,
Gilroy literally is like, like Star Wars is fine. He like doesn't even care. Like, and that's
I'm just
where,
trying to
like,
build my IMDb profile. Like, that's all I'm trying to do, dude. Like,
see, that's why I'm saying like sometimes like a non-fan like can make a great show, but if they need input, like clearly someone is in Gilroy's ear, like yeah, Saw Gerrera, this, and the
that's got to
Empire,
be
this,
Dave.
and
Like that because like who else would be connecting that? That's working
yeah.
on that project or has something to do with that project.
Well, even the name drops from like Mon Mothma and stuff, like
okay, yeah,
yeah.
and everything with what you call it? Fuck was I gonna say? Why can't I think of the name? Oh, the name dropping the Rakatan
Oh, the
Empire.
Rakatans, yeah.
Like, who with the right mind would bring that in besides Dave? Like, at least to me, like Dave or Sam would be the only two that would drop that. I don't even think John would drop that.
Llama Prop says from what he heard it was Hidalgo.
Yeah, bullshit. I'm sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
Hidalgo is like the lore guy allegedly over at Lucasfilm, so I'd say it's possible. The problem with Hidalgo is that he loves The Last Jedi. So
that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think it's I think it's bullshit. I don't think.
I just don't know if
Hidalgo,
Dave.
like,
I just don't know if Dave has time to be like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and consult with Gilroy.
I'm assuming like okay, like for example, like directors and like writers and stuff, they bounce off their scripts and their things and their ideas to other ones, like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, for example. So I'm thinking that like at least with Dave or John, like he would have been like, hey, like I just want to make sure this is all currently like making sense. Like I feel like that they would have at least been like, hey, like can you just look this over when you have a second, like before they went into production. Like I feel like I don't know, there had to have been some sort of like meeting, like making sure everything works. Yeah, they did.
So that was what 100% Hidalgo was doing. He's right. He's freaking right, dude. Hidalgo can't resist. He can't resist throwing in some fucking sequel stuff in there.
I'm just gonna erase that from my memory. That's that's just.
Well, I thought, but that's what I'm saying though. Okay, like let's pretend for a second that Gilroy writes his story, and then he's like, okay, I need some little bits of like who makes sense to if she's mentioning someone's coming to dinner, who's coming to dinner, right? Hidalgo gives her the answer, like who's around at this time. Fine, great. Can we just get someone to replace Hidalgo that actually cares about like legends too, and then get some better lore? I guess would be the case, because what I'm saying is if we did a Sam Witwer in that job instead,
I say Sam was gonna be exactly what I said.
Sam would be the person, because Gilroy can go out and write a great drama, spy thriller, whatever the hell you want to call Andor, and Sam can provide the lore bits. I'm all on board, and that's what we need, that kind of team going forward. Like, we need a fan there that's a big fan that actually cares about the characters. And the thing is, Sam gets it, dude.
Sam saved Solo, in my opinion. Like, with everything
yes. And when he talks about The Last Jedi, he understands why fans don't like it.
Dude, I uploaded I uploaded that interview today for shorts. Like I
Oh,
literally
I
like
have
I
to
was
see that. Yeah, I love that interview.
literally like they would. Oh no, don't get me started. I won't be here for an hour. Like it's just
Yeah. No,
dude.
that's what I'm saying. Sam gets it, whereas Hidalgo does not get that. When Luke showed up in Mando, he was like harassing fans who like loved it. So
Yeah, I remember he was like berating Star Wars Theory for crying about it on Twitter. Like, I remember I'm
yeah,
like, dude, how
he's
do you work
like
for Lucasfilm and this is allowed? Like, Gina will get fired for this, but you won't. Like,
right. He's not gonna get fucking fired. It's the worst, dude. Hidalgo sucks. I want to get back to this real quick. I just want to backtrack, and we're running out of time here,
yeah,
guys.
I have
But
to start heading out.
so you guys fully on board with the Ahsoka show and where that's going? I'm
Yes.
like I'm like 75% bought in. I think it was really slow for season, but I really like Lars' portrayal of Thrawn. And I kind of hope Ahsoka is stuck in the other galaxy and we get like a separate story there
Yeah.
that doesn't tie into the Heir to the Empire story that's happening in the core galaxy. I think it would be nice to keep Ahsoka separate. So I am kind of excited for that.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
want Ahsoka and Sabine, especially after Dave's drawing. I want them to stay in this other galaxy. I want Balin
Mhm.
to go to whatever was calling to him, that light. And I think we're gonna get Abeloth with that. I mean, not like Abeloth in full, but just something to do with that mythical side of it. In terms of writing and character, yes, 110%. Dave knows what he's doing with the show. He knows what he wants, and he knows where it needs to go. And Dave
It
is the sole writer on this show too.
it felt very Star Wars. I'll say that much. Like from the music to like the way that I mean, the dialogue was a little clunky at times, but like so was George's, so
I
it's
mean, and
fine.
who learned that dialogue from George?
Right, right. So that's where I'm kind of like, it wasn't. Was it a perfect show?
No,
No. Do I like it better than like Mando season 2? No. But like
season 3, yeah.
season 3, oh, absolutely, a huge upgrade
Kenobi,
for
yeah.
me. Yeah,
For,
Kenobi, 100% like it better than that. I mean, Hayden in Ahsoka was way better than Hayden in Kenobi.
also because Hayden had a Hayden. I mean, Hayden was directing like that episode pretty much. Like Dave was too, but like Hayden was directing everything with him and Ariana. Like
Right, like he
Dave
put
let
together
Hayden, like yeah, like he let Hayden choreograph everything. He let Hayden take the reins for it. So that's what makes it special.
yeah.
Is that like you didn't see them letting like you didn't see Deborah letting them like I guarantee Hayden and Ewan had nothing to do with the flashback fight when it comes to the choreography of it. Besides maybe him like Anakin adding in or Hayden adding in like
It's like
his twirl. Like
twirl,
that was like
yeah.
maybe it. Because if it was them, they would have been going at it a lot quicker than they were. They're fighting slow.
The part where he like sets the saber down too, and it's like just stuck on the ground. Like I don't understand. I don't
Yeah.
understand that at all. I think Dave needs a second writer to fix some of the dialogue or something. I always think like a second writer, small writer's room can
I
really
think
help the show.
that's where
So
John comes in, at least to me.
yeah, I think I really hope John is involved with the writing of Dave's movie. I know because we're gonna see John like on full display here with the Mando movie.
Yeah.
John's a good movie maker. I don't care what anyone says. Like,
I mean,
dude makes good movies.
I don't even think people realize how much John's version of Iron Man got changed from the studio, and John still made it the best movie he possibly could. It would have been a lot better too with the story that they like with the trilogy that he had planned. It could have been insane.
Yeah, he basically was like forced out before the third one, so it's kind of crazy.
Even with the second one too,
Yeah,
they
they
changed half of
shit
the movie.
a ton. Yeah,
So
it's kind of a bummer. Because I really like John. I mean, he's made great movies, dude. Swingers, Elf, Iron Man. The guy can make a movie.
the Mandalorian season 1, like
Mandalorian season 1, Mandalorian season 2. Like I'm telling you, 100%. And this has been pretty much confirmed elsewhere, but like Disney interfered and wanted Grogu and Mando back before season 3. That's why we got what we got in Boba Fett, and that's why season 3 was such a jumbled mess.
yeah.
And now this is the other crazy part. He was writing season 4, and they forced him to make a movie instead. So I really hope his vision is not sacrificed at all, and I hope we get a story that he's happy with. That's all I can say.
I hope with it being the movie, they give him a bigger budget then, because then he can
I hope so too.
reincorporate those things and make it work.
I hope so too. Yeah. All right, we should probably get rolling. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I gotta get going.
Yeah, they don't want to do a major increase. They have to deform in his voice greatly whenever he's held it to light. Yeah, I think they just. I think maybe they have like him get corrupted or something by the Abeloth or something, and that's how they recast. That'd be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I honestly I'd rather him just from the beginning of the season, the new season, him just be recasted, and them not really like
I mean, I
mention it.
would too.
I'd rather it just happen because then we can still move along with the story.
Yeah.
Like I love and respect Ray, but I feel like it's too big of a character just to not return, and you need the recast for it. Like they definitely with Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa, they did the right thing, but with here, I think that they need to recast.
I agree. I want a full recast, but all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining again. I am probably out the next 2 weeks. I'm
Okay.
going to be making my journey out east, and I will be in a new location with a green screen next time, guys. So, but I'll be here in time to kick off the Acolyte, and
We should try and see if we can get maybe Tony and Will to come on for the Wonder Before Acolyte.
yeah, that'd be good. I'd like that. Yeah, we have never had Will on, and I
Yeah.
would really like to have Diamond Figs for all of you that aren't aware of who Will is, but in Star Wars Sith. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So we should probably plan a big one for our comeback stream before the Acolyte. I like that.
I agree.
Cool, man. All right, we'll see you guys later, and thanks for joining. May the Force be with you as always.